Hello everyone, welcome back to the Python programming series. In the previous lecture, we learned about loops and solved many practice programs. Today we will learn functions in Python which help us write clean, reusable and organized codes. Let's get started. What are functions? A function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Instead of writing the same code again and again, we create a function and call it whenever needed. Why do we use functions? Reuse code, reduce repetition, make code easy to read, make programs easy to manage. Defining a function. We use the def keyword to create a function. Syntax: def function dash name is brackets colon then code. The keyword def tells Python that we are defining a function. After def we write the function name, then round brackets, then a colon. The code inside the function must be indented, just like if statement and loops. Important. Just defining a function does not run it. The code inside only runs when we call the function by name. Uh, Calling a function. A function runs only when it is called. Let's do an example of calling a function. Def greet colon print welcome to Python. Greet if I run this program, I get output welcome to Python. First we define the function greet with the def keyword. The code inside just prints welcome to Python. But nothing happens until the last line greet is written. This is the function call. When Python sees this, it jumps into the function, runs the code inside, then comes back. You can call the same function multiple times. Write greet. If I write greet 3 times, it will print the message 3 times, like welcome to Python 3 times. This is exactly why functions are useful. Define once, use as many times as needed. Functions with function with parameters. Parameters are variable written inside the function definition. Let's do an example. If I read def greet name colon print hello name greet Keshav. Let's run this code. We get output hello Keshav. Now the function has a parameter called name. This is the parameter which is name. A parameter is a variable written inside the brackets of the function definition. It's it acts as a placeholder for the value that will be passed in. When we call greet Keshav, the string Keshav is passed into the function and stored in the parameter name. Inside the function print hello, name prints hello followed by whatever is in name. If I write Rahul, then the output will be hello Rahul. So this is function with parameters. Now function with multiple parameters. So let's do an example of multiple parameters. Def add a comma b, print a plus b, add 10 comma 20. Let's run this code. We get output 30. Here the function had two parameters a and b. A and b are the two parameters. When we call add 10 comma 20, the value 10 goes into a and 20 goes into b. Inside the function, a plus b gives 30 and we print it. You can have as many parameters as you need, just separate them with commas in both the function definition and the function call. Now arguments. Arguments are the actual values passed while calling a function. So let's do an example of arguments. Def student name comma age, print name, print age, student Rahul comma 20. Let's run this code. We get Rahul and 20. Let me clarify the difference between parameters and arguments, because beginners often confuse these two words. Parameters are the variable written in the function definition. Here name and age are parameters. Arguments are the actual values we pass when calling the function. Here Rahul and 20 are arguments. Simple way to remember: parameters are in the definition, arguments are in the call. In practice, people use these words interchangeably, and that is fine. The return statement. Return statement, the return keyword sends a value back to the caller. So let's do an example of return statement. Def square num return num into num result equal to square 5, print result. Let's run this code. We get the output 25. The return keyword sends a value back from the function to wherever it is called from. When we call square 5, the function calculates 5 into 5 equals to 25 and returns the value. The returned value is stored in the variable result. Then we print result. The difference between print and return inside a function: print just display something on the screen, return actually sends the value back so you can store it, use it in calculation or pass it to another function. Once Python hits return, the function stops immediately. Any code after it in function will not run. Function returning two values. So let's do an example of function returning two values. Def calculates a comma b, return a plus b, a minus b, add sub equal to calculate 20, 10, print add print print sub. Here we have to write calculates. Let's run this code. We get 30 and 10. A Python function can return more than one value at the same time. Just separate them with a comma after return. Here return a plus b comma a minus b returns two values, the sum and the difference. On the calling side we write add comma sum, add comma sub equal to calculate 20 comma 10. This unpacks both the return value into two separate variables. Add gets 30 and sub gets 10. This is called multiple return values and it is a very clean feature of Python. Default arguments. Default arguments are used when no value is passed. So let's do an example of default arguments. Def student name city equal to Jaipur. Print name, print city, student Keshav. Let's run this code. We get Keshav and Jaipur. A default argument is a value assigned to a parameter in the function definition using equal to. If caller does not provide a value for that parameter, Python uses that default. Here city has a default value of Jaipur. When we call student brackets Keshav without passing a city, Python automatically uses Jaipur. But look at what happens when we do pass a value. Keshav, comma, Delhi. Let's run this code. We get Keshav and Delhi. The provided value Delhi overrides the default. Default arguments are great for optional parameters. They give the function a sensible fallback value while still allowing flexibility. passing both values. This is done. Keyword arguments. Values are passed using parameters name. Let's do an examples of keyword argument. DEF student name comma age print name print age student age equal to 20 comma name equal to Keshav. Let's run this code. We get Keshav and 20. Normally when we call a function, we pass values in the same order as the parameters. But with keyword arguments, we write the parameter name along with the value, like age equal to 20 and name equal to Keshav. Because we are specifying which value belongs to which parameter, the order does not matter, even though we wrote age first and name second in the call. Python correctly assigned Keshav to name and 20 to age. This makes function calls clearer and easier to read, especially when a function has many parameters. Positional arguments. Value are passed according to their position. So let's do an example of positional arguments. If I run this code, I get Keshav and 20. Positional arguments are passed in order. The first value go to the first parameter and the second value go to the second parameter. Like Keshav go to the first parameter name and 20 go to the second parameter age. If I write 20 first and Keshav second, 20 comma Keshav, then I get 20 and Keshav. Python does not check whether the value makes sense for the parameter, it just follows the order. So always make sure passage you pass values in the right order when using positional arguments. Arbitrary arguments. Asterisk args. If we don't know how many arguments will be passed, we use asterisk args. It stores all value as a tuple. Example. So let's do an example of arbitrary arguments. Def numbers into ARGS. Print ARGS numbers 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's run this code. We get 10, 20, 30, 40 in brackets. Sometimes we do not know in advance how many arguments will be passed to a function. For this, Python gives us into asterisk args. The asterisk before args is the important part. It tells Python to collect all the extra positional arguments and pack them into a tuple. Here we passed 10, 20, 30, 40 and stored in args. You can pass any number of values 1, 5 or 10. The function handles all of them. The name args is a convention. You could write asterisk numbers or asterisk values, but asterisk args is the standard name everyone uses. Loop through asterisk args. So let's do an example of loop using asterisk args. Def numbers asterisk args for I in range for I in args. Print I numbers 10, 20, 30. Let's run this code. We get 10, 20 and 30 in next in separate lines. Since args is a tuple, we can loop through it just like a list or any other sequence. The for loop goes through each value in args one by one and prints it. So 10, 20 and 30 are each printed on a separate line. This is very useful when you want to process each argument individually. For example, adding them all, finding the largest, or printing them in a certain format. Keyword arbitrary arguments. Asterisk asterisk KWARGS. If we don't know how many keyword arguments will be passed, we use asterisk asterisk KWARGS. It stores value as a dictionary. So let's do an example of keyword arbitrary arguments. Def student asterisk asterisk KWARGS. Print KWARGS student name equal to Keshav. Name equal to Keshav. Age equal to 20. City equal to Jaipur. Let's run this code. We get name Keshav, age 20, and city Jaipur. Into KWARGS is similar to in asterisk ARGS, but for keywords, but for keyword argument, the double asterisk tells Python to collect all keyword arguments and pack them into a dictionary. Here we passed name equal to Keshav, age equal to 20, city equal to Jaipur. All three are collected into a dictionary where the parameters name become keys and the values become the corresponding values. Just like ARGS, the name KWARGS is a convention. It stands for keyword arguments. You could write double asterisk data or double asterisk info, but double asterisk KWARGS is the standard name everyone uses. Assessing values. So let's do an example of assessing values in keyword arbitrary arguments. Close bracket name and print KWARGS close bracket city. Let's run this code. We get Keshav and Jaipur. Since KWARGS is a dictionary, we assess individual value using their keys inside square brackets, exactly like any other dictionary. KWARGS square bracket name gives Keshav and KWARGS square bracket city gives Jaipur. This is useful when you want to pick specific values from a flexible set of keyword argument passed to the function. Nested function. A function can also be created inside another function. So let's do an example of nested function. def outer print outer function def inner print inner function inner outer. Let's run this code. We get outer function, then inner function. Python allow you to define a function inside another function. This is called a nested function. Here inner is defined inside outer. Here inner is defined inside here inside outer. When we call outer and round bracket, it prints outer function, then defines inner round brackets which prints inner function. One important thing, inner round brackets only exist inside outer round bracket. You cannot call inner from outside. If you try, Python will give a name error. Let's try inner. Let's run this. Name error. Nested functions are usually for hiding helper logic that is only needed inside one specific function. Pass by object reference. Python passes object to function. If the object is mutable, it can be changed. If the object is immutable, it cannot be changed. Mutable example. A mutable example list. So let's do an example. Def change data data 0 equal to 100, numbers equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30, change numbers, print numbers. So let's run this code. We get 100 comma 20 comma 30. When we pass a list to a function, we are not passing a copy. We are passing a reference to the same list in memory. So any changes made inside the function affect the original list only. Here data 0 equal to 100 changes the first element after the function call. Numbers in the main code is also changed. It now shows 100, 20, 30. This happens because lists are mutable. They can be changed in place. The function or the main code are both pointing to the same list object in memory. Immutable example, integer. So let's do an example of immutable. Def change num equal to 100, x equal to 10, change x, print x. Let's run this code. We get output 10. We passed x, which is 10, into the function. Into the function. Inside the function, we wrote num equal to 100. But when we print x after the function call, it is still 10 and 10. Why? Because integers are immutable. They cannot be changed in place. When we write num equal to 100 inside the function, Python creates a brand new integer object 100 and points num to it. The original variable x outside still points to the old object 10. So the change stays inside the function and does not affect the outside variable. Simple rule: mutable objects like list can be changed inside a function and the change shows outside. Immutable objects like integers, strings, and tuples cannot be changed this way. Summary. Today we learned what are functions, why do we use function, defining a function, calling a function, parameters, arguments, return statement, function returning multiple variables, default arguments, keyword arguments, positional arguments, arbitrary arguments, keyword arbitrary arguments, nested function, pass by object reference, mutable versus immutable objects. Now you have a strong understanding of Python function. Practice all the examples and programs to improve your coding skills. In the next lecture, we will move on to the next important topic in Python programming.